Hey guys, today we continue our study of three-dimensional objects. We looked at surface area, which is finding the area of the entire outside of a three-dimensional object. We looked at the nets of objects. Here's a net right here of a triangular prism. And then we found the volume of prisms, volume of triangular prisms, volume of rectangular prisms. And today, we're going to find the volume of pyramids. Now, normally if I show you guys a pyramid, you know it's a pyramid. All right, so we have a special formula just for pyramids, whether it's a square pyramid or a rectangular pyramid or a triangular pyramid. We've got one formula for that. And then, but we don't want to mix it up with this shape here. This is a prism. They can tell pyramids always have the pointy top and then a flat bottom, and then prisms don't have the pointy top, and they have two bases. So I shouldn't have said bottom. This is the base, pointy top. Prisms, they don't have the pointy top, the triangular prism. It kind of looks like maybe, but it doesn't. You can see the difference right here. And it's going to have two bases, all right? So let's look at the formula. We looked at this a little bit already when we looked at our formula chart, but here's the formula right here. I want you to look at it and think, what is the difference? The difference is, drum roll please, times 1/3. Because we've already done B times H. For the last two lessons, big B times H. Now it's 1/3 big B times H. Another way to think of that formula is big B times H divided by 3. Because when you multiply by 1/3, it's the same as dividing by 3. So again, we start everything the same way. If it's asking for the volume of a pyramid, the first thing we do is we write the formula. And I'm going to write it this way. So you can do it with the 1/3, but while I'm showing out my examples, I'm always going to write this way. I think it's easier on the brain. The second thing that we always learn to do is to identify the base and to go ahead and shade it in. So the base here, it looks like a square. Square is a 6 by 6. So that's base times height, which is 6 times 6. So big B is 36. Now the height. Whoa, I just dropped my pen just a minute. I have to bend down and get it. And all right. We didn't really talk about the height of this shape. There's this thing right here, it's slanty. This is called the slant height. We're not going to use the slant height. When you are in 8th grade and you start using formulas, you're going to use the slant height to find the surface area, but we're not using that. We want to think of the height as something that starts here at the tip and goes straight down to the bottom. So you can't actually see it. I could put a ruler right next to it, and then you could see the height like that. So let's look at the shapes that they gave us. The first one, you can kind of see a line going down the middle. On the second rectangular prism, you can not only see the line, but they gave you a little right angle. They don't always give you the right angle, but just make sure you don't ever pick. If they have a number on the slanty part of a pyramid, don't pick it for the volume. So the height of, so let's write this formula. We're going to write what we know. We know 36 is big B. The height now we can see is this 8 right here. And then all of this is divided by 3. So if I do the math on that, 36 times 8 is 288 divided by 3. 208 divided by 3 is 96 inches cubed. Next shape. It's a pyramid. Oh my gosh. So the first thing I'm going to do, because it wants the volume, is I'm going to write the formula. It's always the first thing we do. The next thing we do is always shade in the base, because we need to figure out what is big B. And when I look at big B, it looks like a rectangle, and that's because it is. So I'm going to find the area of that rectangle. The area of that rectangle is going to be the base times the height. So it's going to be 10 times 8. So it's going to be 80 inches. Big B is 80 inches. So I'm going to come back to my formula. I'm going to plug that number in. The height, remember, is the straight up and down line from the tip of the pyramid down. And in this situation, it is the 6. So this is 80 times 6 divided by 3. Now I can do shortcuts. I could go 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 2 times 80 is 160. I can do 80 times 6 is 480 divided by 3 is 160. There's lots of kind of little different shortcuts you can take, just so you know. You can go out of order a little bit, but my answer ends up being 160 inches cubed. Next one. It is a pyramid. Surprise! So the very first thing I do is I write the formula for a pyramid. I look and I find the base. Remember, there's just one of them. And I figure out what is the area of that base. Well, it's pretty easy because it's a rectangle. And let's see, this was a 10 and this was a 4. So 10 times 4 is 40. Whoops. Did you catch it? I wrote the original formula incorrectly because I forgot to do what? That's right, divide by 3. So I'm going to divide by 3. So I have V equals, big B is 40. The height is this line right here, going straight up the middle. It's kind of hard to see, I know, times 6. And that whole thing is going to be divided by 3. So my final answer, once I multiply and divide, is 80 centimeters cubed. Word problem, our favorite. I have a rectangular pyramid with a height of 6 inches. That looks important. And the area of the base is 30. 35. Big B is 35. What is the volume? Okay. Here we go. Start with the formula. V equals big B times H divided by 3. They did not give me the volume. They did give me big B. They did give me the height, all divided by 3. Now again, just so I can show you, because this, especially if you don't have a calculator, it's kind of cool to see this. But I can go ahead and divide this. We've done it. We did it before with triangles. So let's see what we got here. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So volume equals 35 times 2. Now that's a whole lot easier to multiply. Volume equals 70, and it's inches cubed. All right. Good luck. There's just a few for you to practice on. Ask for help if you need it, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.